Okay, so when you picture a crocodile, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it some kind of prehistoric monster, right, lurking in the water? A cold-blooded killing machine? I mean, that's the story most of us grew up with. But today, we're going to dig into a totally different way of understanding this animal, one that really makes you question our place in the world. So let's get into it. But let's start with that story of absolute terror, because it's a powerful one. This is from the late eco-philosopher Val Plumwood. She's describing the exact moment a crocodile grabbed her in Australia's Kakadu National Park. I mean, it is just a horrifying, visceral account, and it perfectly captures that primal fear these animals stir up in us. And yeah, when you see an image like this, you totally get why that fear is so real. That eye just breaking the surface, it looks like it holds this ancient, powerful intelligence. It's this exact image that has fueled the whole monster myth for generations. Now, for Plumwood, this encounter was way more than just a physical attack. It turned into this profound philosophical test that would completely change how she saw everything. It all happened in a flash. She was out there by herself in her canoe, and what she thought was a floating log, well, it suddenly grew eyes. The croc lunged, pulled her into the water, and started that terrifying death roll. And while she miraculously survived, the experience didn't just injure her body, it absolutely shattered her entire perception of reality. And this right here, this is the core of it. This is where that massive shift happened for her. Plumwood realized that from the crocodile's point of view, she wasn't some deep thinker, an observer of nature. She was just food. For the first time, she saw the world not from the top of the food chain, but as just another piece of the puzzle. And that realization? Well, it opens the door to a completely different way of seeing the crocodile. A worldview where they aren't monsters at all. They're family. So you've got these two extremes, side by side. On one hand, you have the Western view. We all know the croc is a threat, a man-eater, something to be managed. But on the other hand, you have the Yolngu people's perspective. For them, the crocodile, or Baru, is a sacred ancestral being, a nurturing mother figure, and a relative you have to respect. And this isn't just an abstract idea. This respect is woven deep into their culture, like in this Matadarpa funeral ceremony. It's incredible. A dancer actually becomes the mother crocodile, carefully preparing her nest. The grave itself is the nest, and the coffin, that represents her precious eggs. It's this beautiful, powerful symbol of creation and care, the complete opposite of the monster myth. So for the Yolngu, the crocodile isn't some dangerous outsider. It is a fundamental part of their society, their spirituality, their entire connection to the land. Okay, so what does modern science have to say about all this? Well, it turns out biology is uncovering a level of complexity that pretty much blows that whole primitive monster idea right out of the water. For starters, ecologically, crocodiles are what we call a keystone species. Basically, their presence is a sign of a healthy ecosystem. If you take them out, the whole thing can collapse like a house of cards. And this scientific fact lines up perfectly with the Yolngu belief that the crocodile is an essential, foundational part of their world. Okay, look at this number, 9,000. Any idea what this could possibly have to do with a crocodile? That's how many of these tiny little bumps, called integumentary sensory organs, are covering a crocodile's body. For the longest time, science had no clue what they were for. But now we know they are absolutely packed with nerve endings. And here's the kicker. Are you ready for this? These organs make a crocodile's skin more sensitive to touch and pressure than a human fingertip. Yeah, that tough, armored skin is actually an incredibly delicate sensory tool. And that incredible sensitivity allows them to do some truly amazing things. I mean, can you imagine being able to feel the ripple from a single drop of water hitting the surface? Or using jaws that can crush bone to then gently carry your own babies? They learn, they adapt, they communicate with each other. And get this, research has even shown they react to the distress calls of human babies. This is not the behavior of some mindless killing machine. So if they're this complex and important, how do you actually live alongside such a powerful predator? Well, the Yolngu approach is built on deep knowledge, not on fear. This quote from Yolngu traditional owner Molthara Munungur really says it all. It's this fundamental understanding of boundaries. It's not our water, it's their water. That simple idea changes everything. It's a worldview built on respect and giving each other space. And that perspective just flips the whole dynamic, doesn't it? When a crocodile is in its own home,
It's not a monster invading our space. It's Baru, an intelligent being right where it belongs.
So, how does this actually work in practice? Well, an elder named Charlie Menungor showed that instead of trying to be quiet and sneak around, you do the complete opposite. You announce that you're there, loudly. You throw sticks in the water. The whole goal is to encourage the crocodile to show itself so you both know where the other one is. It's about mutual awareness, not about hiding. Ultimately, how we see the crocodile becomes a kind of mirror, reflecting how we see ourselves and our own place in the natural world. Let's bring it back to Val Plumwood one last time. Her terrifying ordeal, it actually led her to the exact same conclusion the Yolngu people have held for thousands of years, that humans are not separate from nature. We aren't above it all. We are part of it. And in the end, we are edible. And this really boils it all down to the core difference, doesn't it? Do we see the world as a ladder, with humans sitting comfortably at the very top? Or do we see it as an interconnected web, where every single being, from us to the crocodile, is linked? And that leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. The crocodile, this ancient, complex creature, really forces us to ask ourselves, are we the masters of nature, standing outside and above the food chain? Or are we just one part of it like everything else?